A common mistake parents make when they're divorcing their spouse is they forget they're really not divorcing their children. And what's the message that their children get if they're not really clear about that? That your grief, your pain, your trauma, your anger is not meant to be dealt with and processed through your children. And it's a mistake to disparage the other parent, which you might be tempted to do because you're angry, you're in a cloud because of this divorce. Maybe you didn't want the divorce, or maybe you desperately want the divorce, and maybe there's some anger. So just be careful not to ever disparage the other parent. Don't talk badly about the other parent in front of your children. Because remember, your children are all of you, and your children are also all of their other parent. And they're also independent, right? They have independent needs, and they have enough to worry about being children. And now they have to worry also about what it's going to be like to go from one home, if that's where you've all been residing together as a family, to maybe two homes. And that's enough of a challenge for kids. Another mistake parents often make if they're in, say, litigation with the other parent is to not keep track of details, like things like childcare records or pediatric records, to really know what's what concerning their children, to be able to articulate that to the court. Or if they're in a collaborative divorce process, to bring that information, or mediation process, to bring that information to the table so decisions that meet the best interests of your children can be made. If you're the parent who has residential time that's not like primary residential time, and you miss exchanges of your children, or you're late, or you prioritize things like your social life or work. A lot of parents, need to work, but they forget that that's their time with their children. And if they don't exercise it, if they don't meet their children when they're expected to meet their children for their residential time, it could put them at risk of maybe even losing time with their children down the line. It definitely doesn't make you as a parent look good to the court if you're in court in front of a court commissioner or a judge who's going to think your children are not your priority. But also even at the mediation table where you and the other parent are making decisions together, or in collaborative divorce, like prioritize your kids, I think, is the bottom line. As you separate or divorce your spouse and you have children together, and now you're navigating decisions around healthcare and education and extracurricular activities and schedules and parent-teacher conferences and school events and all of those things, what's imperative is to know that you're going to have to communicate even more than you did during your marriage. Because if you think about it, when you're married and you're in the same household, you're at least two ships passing. Whereas when you're in two households, you don't even have that. And so you've got to learn to communicate more and make it about your children. Don't make it about anything else. Make it about your children and their schedules and their healthcare and their schooling and their welfare only, and keep it above board. Keep it respectful and dignified, and mindful that your children should not be caught in the middle of conflicts between you and the other parent. If you want to avoid some of these common custody or parenting time or co-parenting communication mistakes, contact us at clearwaterpnw.com.